everyone, welcome, happy Sunday, welcome to my kitchen. It is Michelle, I am with BariaTricks and Tips, and you are in for an amazing treat today. I can't wait to show you this burger. It is the best, I call it the BariBurger. It's the best bariatric plant-based burger I think that I've ever tasted, and yes, I created it. I'm very, very proud. I was trying to come up with something that was low carb, high protein, something that sticks to your gut and makes you feel satisfied, allows you to indulge, especially during a holiday like Labor Day weekend. I know we're all gearing up probably to spend time with family and friends. And of course, nothing beats a good hamburger. Obviously, it's a meal that I partake in every so often. I try not to eat a lot of red meat. I try to do a little plant-based type of dealio a couple times a week, just because it's good and it's a change from the everyday. And you know, whether you like it or not, we're coexisting with food, and we need to find a way to live large, cook and eat small, and find flavor in everything that we do. So I don't think that there are a lot of exotic ingredients in this. Everything that is in this recipe you should have. And if you don't, contemplate putting it in your arsenal. They're really good go-to ingredients that can be used for this recipe and so many more. And if you didn't know already, on our BariaTricks and Tips Facebook page, you can actually do a keyword search. So for instance, I'm using chia seeds in today's recipe demonstration. And if you actually went to the spyglass on your on our page and typed in chia seeds, you would come up with all of the recipes that I have that include this ingredient. So very easy to do an ingredient search. So with that being said, I am glad that you're here. I know that one of the things that we have in common is that we have had weight loss surgery, or we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery. I know a special friend that's gearing up to have it this coming week, and I hope she's gonna be on an amazing journey. I have faith in her. But whether you're on this bariatric journey, or even if you're striving for overall health and wellness, if you're trying to combat a diabetes diagnosis, it doesn't matter, because you're in the right place. We're here to live large, cook and eat small, and find flavor in everything that you do. And most of the time, my recipes cater to 1 or 2 servings, because I don't like to make a lot. That's why I like to live large and cook and eat small. So some of these recipes, if you find a winner, you want to make sure that you cater the quantities to fit your family or just your immediate needs. Today, these BariBurgers feed 6 people. They make 6 really nice size burgers. So there's a lot of stuff I want to tell you, but there's also a lot of cooking involved. So I'm going to have my camera person, Maya, say hi, Maya. Hi. She's such a girl of many words. I'm going to have her come around, and we're going to start the process, and then I will start talking as I'm cooking. I am going to start the stove. But the first thing that we need to do, come on over, okay? I need to start off with a tablespoon of olive oil, some onion, a half a cup of onion, very finely diced. And I am using my cheat sheet. My recipe is on my laptop. Used to be that I was able to print it off and just keep it on the counter, but the printer broke, and we've had such a busy summer that we haven't had a chance to replace it yet. So we are gonna start off with a tablespoon of olive oil, a half a cup of onion, finely diced. And I'm actually gonna demonstrate how I finely dice things, because I have a gadget that I absolutely love. And if you see any of the gadgets or ingredients or things on this demonstration and you have questions about, certainly feel free, but I will add the link to this wonderful knife that I use to help finely dice. Do you see any comments on Facebook so far, Maya? Because you raised your eyebrows. Why did you do that? Oh, she has no clue. Anyways, I was trying to read her body language. We also need a cup of celery, finely chopped. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And Maya, this is where I want you to come in, and I want you to just focus. Don't be a smart aleck. Hi, Missy. I want you to just focus on the celery. All right. So I am actually cutting these 3. We need a cup. And I know, just based on experience, that my cup equates to 3 of these stalks. I cut them in quarters, and then I'm gonna chop them with a regular knife, one of my favorite knives. And I'll tell you, having good knives in your kitchen is super essential. It makes it kind of fun, and hopefully we can get through this demonstration without me cutting off a limb, because it tends to be my trademark. Okay, so I'm cutting this, and sure, I'm dicing it nice and pretty, but I need to get it more finely chopped than what I'm doing. And that's where this mezzaluna knife, right over here, Maya, if you want to show everyone, comes into play. Okay, that's enough showing. Okay, so once you have this done, you can, I'll get my cup out. That's actually 2 cups. So my mezzaluna, you can actually use rocking motion to finely chop it. And the really cool thing about this mezzaluna is you can go all sorts of different ways, and that's how you're gonna get the fine chop. And all you do is rock it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes I sing a song while I'm doing it. I'm cutting the celery, yes I am. All right, so Maya is slightly embarrassed, but guess what? Don't care. My show, my song. Be glad you don't hear the Star Spangled Banner or anything else. So, all right. So I'm getting this nice and finely chopped. I wouldn't have been able to do this any other way. Or I would have, but it would have taken hours and hours. And I can stay here and use this mezzaluna knife until the cows come home, because I love it so much. My husband bought it for me for my birthday. So now all I'm gonna do is put this in my measuring cup. I should have 1 cup, thereabouts. Scraping, scraping. Maya, please let me know if there are people asking questions. All right. There we go. Check it out. 1 cup. Yeehaw. All right. So what we're going to do next is we need to chop up our portobello mushrooms. And if you want to come over here, focus on me first, please. 8 ounces of mushrooms, and here are my baby bellas. I love mushrooms in general, but I use baby bellas, and I use the stems too. I did wash these. They are, I think I did buy organic, but I love my mushrooms. And all you want to do is pulse until they're very finely minced. Loretta, thanks for watching. I see a lot of friendly faces out there, or names. All right. So check out the consistency of the mushrooms. All right. These, and let's see here. So we need to warm olive oil over medium heat, add the onions, garlic, and celery. So come on over. All right. Let's get some olive oil on this bad boy. Tablespoon of olive oil. Onions. Dog just ran for the hills. We've got a spoon right here. We needed a really hot skillet, okay? Because what we need to do is we need to cook off a lot of the water that is in these ingredients, and that's what's going to take so much time. So the rule of thumb is for the onions, whoops, and the garlic, whoops, thank you, Michelle, for reminding yourself. You want to make sure that you are stirring it. You want the onions to be translucent. I can smell the garlic. It smells delicious. I love how the celery turns this bright green. Green is my absolute favorite color, and this just makes me so happy to see. Okay, and you can see the heat simmering down. So while keep focusing on that for a second, Miss Maya, I'm going to bring my laptop over, and we are going to talk about more ingredients. So once these are done, once these are pretty translucent, which I kind of think they are, they look pretty darn good, we are gonna add a bag of riced cauliflower, and I have it right here. Maya, come over here away from the heat, and you can kind of see. This is a 12-ounce bag of riced cauliflower. It's just my grocery store brand, Meijer's here locally. I'm gonna dump this bad boy in. Throw that away. And then I'm coming for the mushrooms. Hold hold on one sec. Putting the blade into the sink. Clean out all these mushrooms as best you can. I like to use a wooden spoon with this. You do what works for you. I'm addicted to my wooden spoon. I'm getting in with my hands, you guys, okay? It's just the way it's gonna be. Let me rinse my hands. All right, so this is where you have to really do a lot of stirring. All the water that's in the onion and the mushroom really needs to cook off. And so this is gonna be maybe a 5-minute process or so, maybe more. But the way that you'll know that it's done is when you start to see, like, I'm not gonna say that it's charred or burned, but when you start to see it getting maybe a tad crispy, or you can see like it's sticking to the bottom of the pan, that's pretty much how you know that the excess moisture has been removed. You just want to see it like lightly browned. And it's so delicious. These burgers, when I was looking at the nutritional content of the ingredients that I opted for, there are some carbs involved. In fact, when we go through the nutrition facts, I think it's 19 grams of carb, but don't worry about it. That's the cauliflower talking. And I did not take the time to calculate the net carbs because obviously we're dealing with a lot of fiber here too with our veggies. There are no beans in this recipe, so the carb content, if you were to use black beans or any kind of your favorite beans, would probably be well into the 20s or 30s, and we're talking less than 20. So I think that's really, really good. Not saying that there's anything wrong with beans. You just have to pick and choose your carbs. I, myself, try to stay low carb. So a lot of times when I have beans, it's mostly to sprinkle on my salads because I know that that works for me. And again, this is a really good base recipe. The herbs and spices that you're gonna see me put in here is just a benchmark. It's what tastes good for me. It gives you a nice savory taste. And I love the way that my taste buds are challenged and almost like they're taunted in the best way possible, because the whole basis of creating something delicious is to make sure that you're not feeling deprived, because when you have those feelings of deprivation, that's when you start falling off the wagon. And I flat out refuse. I flat out refuse. All right, so we are gonna continue on. The next set of ingredients, Maya, you can kind of focus on me for a second if you want, and I'm looking at my computer. We are going to be using tamarind, which is like a savory, sweet type of concentrate that is used often in like stir-fry, Japanese or Chinese cooking, Asian cuisine. And if you don't have tamarind, I will show you it in just a second. If you don't have it, you can just easily use soy sauce. The reason I opted for tamarind is because it's a little bit thicker. It almost looks like molasses, and we need that to stick together. But soy sauce would be fine. You just may have to cook it a little bit for it to be a little bit more concentrated. We are going to use 2 tablespoons of fresh, finely chopped parsley. And again, I use that mezzaluna knife to chop my parsley. Wait till you see it, it's beautiful. If you don't have fresh parsley, certainly feel free to cut those ingredients in half and just use dried parsley. But the fresh parsley makes it look so pretty, that bright green color. Some sea salt, some smoked paprika, some cumin, garlic powder, sharp white cheddar cheese to kind of be the glue that holds this all together. Some milled flaxseed, which is in place of flour, or in place of like breadcrumbs, if you will, to hold the burger together. And then finally some chia seeds. Chia seeds are like the unsung hero of the cooking world. You can use it in pudding and smoothies, and it's naturally, it's a bulk agent kind of. It naturally absorbs liquid, so it expands and it helps hold things together, and it's absolutely wonderful. So let's get going on our spices. The first thing that we need to add is, hold on, I gotta find my mark here. Bear with me. The tamarind salt, parsley, paprika, cumin, and garlic powder. I am just gonna throw my salt in. The salt is just a half a teaspoon. That should do it. I'm putting my dry ingredients in first. A teaspoon of smoked paprika. Nice color there and some smoky flavor. Some ground cumin, a teaspoon. This is gonna be a teaspoon of everything except for the salt. Some garlic powder, another teaspoon. Whoops, I'm trying to do it quickly, you guys. And then, hold on, the parsley, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, 2 heaping tablespoons. I sincerely believe that there is no such thing as too much. And then finally the tamarind. Here's the concentrate. I buy it in the Asian section at my local grocery store. It looks like molasses. And then Maya, when I spoon it in, I want you to like concentrate on, look how, you can see kind of how it looks like molasses. Hi Karen, thanks for joining. All right, so now it's kind of like glue. And it's tangy, it's almost like, here, I'm gonna take some. I'm gonna give you, it's almost like citrusy, or it's really tangy. It has a little sweet and sour taste. I really, really like it. It's not expensive. You keep it in the refrigerator. Oh, it makes my mouth pucker. So it gives you some really good flavor. Now you just wanna cook everything up. And pretty soon, once I have all this incorporated, we are gonna take a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I buy it in the bag at my local grocery store. It's funny, it comes as like a thickly cut shavings, and they're delicious. It's so good for salad too. It's a delicacy in my house for sure. All right, so look at how all this is coming together. You can see it's starting to brown on the bottom. That is a true blue sign that the moisture has been out, because you don't want a lot of moisture in this because we need to form some burgers here. All right, so I'm lowering my heat a little bit. Now I'm going to get the sharp cheddar. Here's the sharp cheddar. I already used half the bag, and it's a 2-cup bag. I used it for the ones that I have in the oven right now. All right, cool, they're looking good. They should be ready to show you here. All right, so I'm dumping this bad boy in. Look at how nice those little cuts are. And this is where we're gonna have it get glued together. We're gonna mix this up until it begins to get all melty and gluey, and you'll see it on the bottom of the skillet as well. It'll get nice and gluey and maybe even a little caked on, and that's how you know you're doing it right. This is a really delicious meal, you guys. And I'm gonna actually show you how to serve it 2 different ways so you have options, because I am all about options. All right, so this is looking good. I'm gonna lower my heat. I'm gonna scrape the bottom as best I can to make sure that I maximize the yummy goodness that is this dish. And then we're probably gonna mosey on over to, whoops, I just totally dropped some. Yum. Hopefully the dog will come running and clean up my floor as soon as it cools. All right, let me keep going here. All right, Maya, hold on. Keep looking at the dish, and I'm making some space. I have to put the Cuisinart away. All right, so why don't you come on over here, honey. Thank you. Now we have to transfer this to a bowl. This cast iron is pretty warm. All right. So I'm gonna scrape the bottom, get all this yummy goodness into my glass bowl. Any bowl will do. I'm just doing glass so you guys can see it easily. This is gonna go to soak. Hi, Lego. Lego, did you clean up the floor that I spilled on? I have a really Maya. What? There's nothing on. The oven's on. Focus on me, okay? Hello again. Just focusing on the oven and focusing on this. So now we need to add a couple more ingredients, okay? Let's go ahead and go to the flaxseed. We're gonna do a 1/2 cup of flaxseed, and I actually put a 1/4 cup in here by mistake, so I'm gonna do 2 of them. And this is milled flaxseed. Take a look. You can get this you can get it anywhere. You can buy your own flaxseed and then you can mill it yourself, but this is already milled. And you can see, well, come over here, Maya. It looks like, you know, it's like a fine powder. It's really wonderful. It is, its carb content, over here, hello. Its carb content nets out because it's got 4 grams of fiber and then 4 grams of carbs. So it's a really great way to get some good fiber. It's got some protein. So now we're gonna do chia seeds. Here are my chia seeds. I actually buy them on Amazon. I found that it's the best price. I can send you the link as well. I'll put it on the message thread that this broadcast is having. I have it, you might wonder why I have a little bag here. This is the last part of the batch that I had. So I'm trying to use this first. So 2 tablespoons of chia seed. It comes with this little scoop, so it makes it easy for you. And again, this is gonna help bind everything together. So there's my chia seeds. And then finally 4 tablespoons of low-cal protein powder. I use the Nectar version. You can use Gen Pro. Whatever that small tablespoon is what I use to calculate the nutrition content. So that's going in there. And you can use, whoops, that's gonna be on the outtake reel. I just kind of like to blend it. I just wanna make sure that I'm getting everything in. And if you're wondering about the protein powder, you cannot taste it at all. This stuff is pretty legit. And what I am gonna show you, what I do like to have done on this concoction is I like to let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes to let everything blend together, especially the chia seeds, because they're gonna help expand and they're gonna help keep everything together. Come on over here, thank you. So I'll stir it and everything. It looks pretty good. It needs to look wet, okay? And it does. Take a look at this concoction. It is pretty gooey, and that's totally okay. So you can let it sit for a little bit, or you can, you know, do what you need to do. And so what I do to try to get these put into perfect patties, 6 different patties, is rather than spend time dividing it and scooping it and everything, I just make 6 piles on my cookie sheet. Line it with parchment paper, super important. So I've got it like cut to fit. Maya, if you want to focus on this and this. So all I'm doing, what I want to do first is spray my scoop. I've got 3 scoops and this is the largest one. And all I'm gonna do is scoop 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Now you can see that I have a lot left over. Well, sure, if you want small burgers, you can do that, but then I just start going again. And I start, if you want to be completely meticulous and weigh and measure, or maybe use like a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup, do what works for you. I'm just showing you what works for me. This is how I based my recipe. And then, you know, sometimes one looks bigger than the other, one looks smaller than the other. Just, you know, adjust accordingly until you have 6 big piles. Okay? And then all I do right here, I take the back of a fork, spray it with cooking spray, and I just kind of mash everything down. until I get the size burger that you want. These are gonna cook for about 40 minutes or until they get like crispy and easy to manage. Halfway through, you might wanna check on them and give them a flip, which is what I did with the batch that's in the oven. They taste so good. A couple different ways. I can't wait to show you how I'm gonna serve this up. And if they're touching each other, don't worry about it. It will be fine. They're good neighbors. They love each other. It's awesome. So there's my 6 burgers, okay? They will go in the oven on 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes more. It depends. If you're making them really thick, you're gonna allow more time, okay? I am gonna show you how they turned out. Hold on one second. I'm gonna flip them back over. Whoops. Wipe it off. Flip it back over. They look great and they're easy to manage too. So here are my BariBurgers. From this to this, they are a little done. I like them crispy on the outside, okay? Hi, Susan. So what I wanna show you now is how to eat them. This is my favorite part. Come on over here, Maya. Hi. All right, I've got 2 different plates. Maya, I need you over here. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a traditional burger. So here we go with, I have let me show you what I have first as the base. I have the Aunt Millie's Live Smart 2 net carbs buns that I use for my burger all the time. If you're curious about these, they are 50 calories for 1 bun, 1 gram of fat. They're 20 carbs, but there are 17 grams of fiber, of which 1 is soluble and 16 is insoluble. And then you have 6 grams of protein. It's a really nice alternative. The other, so I'm gonna take this. I have some mixed greens that I use for my lettuce, a slice of avocado, and some tomatoes, which are my absolute favorite. All right, so I can add some ketchup to this bad boy, which is good because that will hold the tomatoes on there. And then here, switch places with me for a second. Focus on that burger. And then all right, I'm coming around. I know, I gotta cut the burger. And here comes the dog. All right, check that out, Miss Maya. There's my burger. Look at how delicious that looks. And look at the inside of the BariBurger. Focus, there we go. Hi, Kim. All right, so that's one way to eat it, the traditional burger way. Now I'm gonna show you one of my favorite things to do, all right? This is a La Banderita carb counter tortilla. If you have not seen these, find them at your grocery store. They are my best friend. I love them. 1 tortilla is 45 calories, 1 gram of fat. It is 3 net carbs and 5 grams of protein. So very, very pleased with the nutrition on this particular tortilla. So now I'm gonna make a sandwich wrap. This is the best part. I am gonna actually take my burger, and instead of making it a burger, yes, I'm getting down and dirty. I know it's hot. Actually, it's hotter than holy heck, but I am making a wrap. And I'm gonna use these burger crumbles as I burn the heck out of myself. You can put whatever dressing or topping on it that you want. There's the dog. All right. I actually discovered I had some Frank's hot sauce at my desk the other day when I made this, and it was delish. So that is what I'm dousing it with. And then all you do is fold it on over, get it nice and tight. I do have a slice of avocado on there, tomato, make sure the seam is down. Cut that bad boy, and now you've got the most amazing wrap ever. Hi, Chantel, thanks for joining. Okay, so come on over here, Maya. 2 ways to have this BariBurger. It is plant-based. It is full of incredible, well-balanced nutrition. and I am very proud of this recipe. It will be yours at 3 o'clock. If you have any questions about anything that you saw today, please let me know in this message thread on the broadcast or through our page, Bariatrics and Tips. There will be a replay on YouTube. There will probably be a short TikTok video as well. This will be saved onto our Facebook page. Remember, there are two Bariatric and Tips Facebook pages. One is the page and one is the group. The group is meant to be an interactive experience for us where we can share all of our experiences, ask questions and things of that nature. Do you have a question? I have a question. Let's see what the question is. Focus on here. Beverly, can you use it for meatloaf? I would think that you totally could. You could form those in little tiny meatloafs. You'll probably have to adjust the cooking time. I think that's an amazing idea. And kudos to Beverly. She has had an amazing journey so far. She's lost a whole bunch of weight. Why don't you chime in, Beverly, and let us know like when your surgery was and how much you've lost. I just saw one of her pictures on Facebook today. She has transformed herself. I'm so proud of her. She's a local friend. So that being said, let's shift over to next week. Next week, I'm doing a recipe demonstration on zucchini bread. It is amazing, and it is low carb. It's got protein in it, and it's a really nice comfort food, especially since we're walking into, yes, you guessed it, we are walking into fall. Oh, I can't believe it. The week after that, so September 11th, we've got zucchini bread. September 18th, we are going to do a best of Bariatrics and Tips, and I'm going to show you chicken pad thai. It's amazing. And then Sunday, September 25th, we're going to do eggplant lasagna. It's amazing. A nice, savory, comforty thing to walk into fall with, okay? So remember, I am on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Please use our group page to post things. We're a very positive group. I love hearing about everybody's tricks and tips. And the only reason why I have so many is because I'm 7 years into this journey and I feel great and I saved my own life, and I'm very, very empowered to watch you be able to do the same if you haven't already. All right. Once again, it's Michelle with Bariatrics and Tips. Have yourself a great weekend. Guess what I'm going to do right now? I'm eating the wrap as soon as I photograph. Okay. You'll have the recipe here at 3 o'clock. Take care. Bye.